Hey you all, how's it going? I wanted to share with you something that I've been using lately. I would say probably over the past 3 or 4 months that I've started taking it. It's a supplement that I had seen before, probably more like a year ago, but didn't, step out to try them up until about 4 months ago, I believe in. And you've probably heard of this brand. It's Ancestral. It's the Ancestral brand, and there's a few of their supplements that I've tried that have made a big difference for me. And I've always been into supplementation, like taking a multivitamin. And especially around the seasons where you might feel something coming on or your body's starting to feel weak, I would always recommend and do this for myself to increase the multivitamin that you take. And I saw positive results from that, even though the details of why that worked I never really got into. And I started to study more and went back to took extended continuing education courses back in 2020. And because of the illnesses that were taking place, my dad and his illness that he had been dealing with, for years, I just became more and more educated and researched and interested in these different issues that we come about. But a lot of it just stemmed from me working with clients. It wasn't from something that I was dealing with personally, aside from my family, which was the original reason that I got into fitness. The original reason that, and I just think it was something that was is part of how I'm supposed to serve. It's something that God gave me, along with the other gifts that helped to cultivate that, along with the other gifts that work together with those things. But I wanted to tell you about these supplements in particular, because after 2020, like I said, I started taking continuing education classes. With the gyms closing down, there were a lot of things that I qualified for as far as schooling, and that was one of the huge things. So I went back and took more science courses and math courses and health courses, and then independent study on my own as well. And I have to say, over the past 6 years, I have really, I'd say past 8 years, especially the past 5 years, I've really been more intentional, intense in my studies. And so, it's something that you'll hear me kind of support a lot on this channel, or reinforce, is that our bodies are nutrient deficient. And after 2021, and the second time that I got COVID, the response that my body went through, it was like, the best way I can explain it, it's like it felt like my body was short-circuiting. And the blessing of that is that it just caused me to go further and further into our healthcare system, which is, what we call it. Some call it a sick care system, but the structure of it. And then things I had heard years before, they kind of came back to my mind, like, oh, that's why, people would say this or say that. And the situation that we're in with our health, you all, and when it changed over from doctors looking for the source of the issue, to now just managing symptoms, it really is something that is a business model to, unfortunately, keep us sick. And it's working. It has been working. And my goal is just to continue to encourage you all to really open your eyes and to be more proactive in regards to your health, and especially the health of your parents and the loved ones, because there's a mindset of, okay, whatever drug you want me to take, whatever shot you want me to take, I'll take. And it is really doing damage and stealing from us. And even now, I still haven't fully gotten back to baseline, which I'm definitely still looking forward to, in regards to where my body was at, and just getting fully functional, but I know that it's something that God has been using to open my eyes and help me to really realize what's going on, and to also depend on Him more, because when you find out more about what's really going on behind the scenes, it can be, you can lose, you have the potential to lose hope. And so God is really helping me to have a whole nother level of dependency on Him in this area of continuing to stay hopeful. And so in the meantime, there's so many things that He has already put into this earth. Some things, like I said, that you've probably heard about, but just don't really know how powerful they are. Simple things like garlic and turmeric. I mean, these are things that you've heard multiple times, but I'm telling you, start to research just the benefits of them. But that's not what I came to talk to you about today. I came to talk to you about Ancestral, the brand Ancestral. And the reason why is, like I said, because of the illness that I went through. It caused me to go deeper, and because of, the illnesses my dad went through. And then when he passed in 22, it just hurts my heart to see how the seniors are just really being taken advantage of. It's really horrible, you all. So look out for your loved ones, and also, the youth, everyone. We're falling subject to garbage, I was listening to a message from a doctor yesterday, and he was explaining how these definitions that companies are able to use in order to legally put garbage on the shelves, and you all were not even given real food. And so I'm still endeavoring to get to my ultimate place of health, and I'm believing God for that, and also walking along the way and researching as He leads me. But this is something that came back up, and the benefits have been great. I had an injury in my hip when I did the last half marathon that I did. This was prior to COVID. And I didn't, even at that point, I just kind of thought, okay, it'll just kind of heal on its own. But it pretty much stayed the same. It got a tad bit worse, but it stayed the same until after COVID. And it's like I said, everything short-circuited. And one of the things that happened was the hip, the cartilage in my hip, and I'm determined to really find the natural way to be able to heal it, get it to recover. So what I wanted to show you today with Ancestral are the benefits that I've been getting in that area. And there's other things that have been helping as well, but just in that area. Now, the inflammation is the thing that was triggering so many of these changes. I became allergic to different things that I wasn't allergic to before, but I'm seeing progress because I was allergic to things that were fermented, which was negative for me because the fermented foods like the apple cider vinegar, those were things that were actually helping me. And so when I became allergic to those things, it was, like I said, I had the potential to be to lose hope, because it's like, well, what do I do from here? Like, I use my body to help other people. And I'm telling you, life is so valuable, you all, and it's valuable. And we want to be able to have our health so that we can actually do life. We have our bodies. It's the only thing that we use. Not just that, our brain and our mental capacities are connected to that. And we see huge issues with psychological deficiencies and illnesses and diagnoses. And it's all linked back to nutritional deficiencies that we're not getting in food. Our bodies are being weakened while more toxins are being thrown on top of it, if I had to just generalize it. And so Ancestral, this has been huge in regards to the recovery of my hip, the pain that I was having in my legs. And one of the things is the living bone. They have Ancestral Nutrition. They have one that's called Living Bone and Ancestral Supplements. And I'll put the link down below as well, so you all can get that. I'll put my affiliate links down below. You can, if you want to purchase it, you can purchase it through that way. But the Living Bone was amazing. And I was using calcium and always, still taking the magnesium. But one way that it helped me, I'll explain how it helped my bone, but when it came to sleep, the magnesium was always beneficial, so I was taking a magnesium glycinate. But when I took it with the living bone, I had some of the best sleep that I had had in a long time. And I was always sleeping, but I'm talking about getting into that deep sleep. And that really, really, really helped. So it didn't just help the bone, but it also helped those other areas. And so I was taking the trace minerals along with the calcium. And I was taking the trace minerals in the morning, which it's great to take trace minerals. You want to take the trace minerals. But I was taking the trace minerals. It's important for bones and a lot of other functions in our body, or organs, hormones, immune system, all of that. Trace minerals include zinc as well. But I was taking the trace minerals, which is important for the structure, for the regeneration and building of the bone. And I was taking, what is that? And I'm still taking that collagen. I'll put, matter of fact, I'll put the link to all of those down below. But like I said, the issue was with the spike protein is what I, found to be the thing that was really initiating all of these other things that were being triggered in my body. And so the areas that were susceptible, like my digestive system and my hip, the areas that were already not optimally functioning, my digestive system, I was already having some, issues there. But when after COVID, it was, I can't even explain it. And it's getting better. It's gotten a lot better, but that was initiating it. The spike protein was causing that inflammatory response in the body. And so it really took a hold of it. And you know that when your digestive system is less efficient and you're having all of these issues with, leaky gut, and all of these other things that stem from it, you can have, that's where the allergic responses and mast cell activation comes from. So it was horrible, but then it was still just very valuable for the things that I learned. So what helped me in regards to my hip was when I started taking the living bone. I mean, I felt the results like that same week. It was so quick. I mean, like I said, the rest, the sleep was deeper, and calcium I'd always taken it around bedtime. It always had that effect, but this was just different. And so the living bone from Ancestral Supplements, that one, if you're having any type of issues with your bone or you're taking calcium now, switch it out and use that living bone. I'm telling you, the results were like that. And of course, the calcium is not just for the bone, but it's for other areas of our body. So we're talking about the muscle and the structure and the contractions and all of that, the magnesium, the potassium, all of those things are very important. Potassium is included in the trace minerals too. Depending on the one that you purchased, the one I purchased had some of those electrolytes in there as well. But anyway, when I started taking the living bone, I saw, immediately the discomfort, the pain, because if you have any sort of, irritation or it's something being irritated in that area, then it'll affect your nerves and all of those things. So you have this pain going through your, leg or the muscle, whatever it is. So the living bone was excellent. If you have any issues with your bones, or you just want to help to support your skeletal system, Ancestral Supplements, try that, you all. Now, I also tried the colostrum. I didn't see that big of a difference in my digestive system. It didn't get worse, but I was really looking for it in that area. But I did see other, testimonies of people that had excellent results. And then there's other ones too that you can take. So I would say, if you're looking for some help with your digestive system, you can try the colostrum and see if that works for you. But the living bone was the one that was really beneficial for me. I experienced results quickly. Now, the other thing that I started to take was the beef liver. And with the beef liver, what my idea I was going to replace I've replaced my trace minerals. I've used the liver as a multivitamin. So this was also giving me the iron. I needed iron as well. That was something that I needed to make sure I was supplementing properly. as well, getting enough of that in. I was seeing changes in my hair because of the inflammatory response. So many of my other, systems in my body were off. I was having issues with my liver. I never, like, fatty liver, like, issues with my liver. That's far out, with how I live, But because of the issue with the spike protein, my other organs, hormones, thyroid, all of these things, I was having responses, in, and trying to figure it out because many of the standard labs, they weren't working. So Living Bone, you all, by Ancestral, try it, and I want to hear how that works for you. It was amazing for me. Now, the other thing is, like I said, the beef liver. You get some of the B vitamins in there. Also, I was getting it for the iron. You feel a change in your energy levels. I would say maybe after a couple of weeks. It's not this caffeine type of thing, but it's just this lift, like waking up in the morning. It wasn't, I've always, still slept good, but just that, I felt that difference, especially after, I'm speaking of after I got, COVID for the second time and all the things that happened there. So that was really important. And then overall, after COVID, my body, it just seemed like my body just wouldn't heal and recover, which I was a complete opposite before. Never got sick. I'm talking about never, to the point where the doctor was like, you can probably have a check-in every other week, a checkup every other week, every other year, because you're healthy, the things that you're doing. But after, getting COVID for the second time, it was bad. And so after, doing research and continued education and just really praying and keeping my eyes open to what God was leading me to do, I found out about the spike protein and the inflammatory responses. So that was the trigger for so many of these things. And I'm just was tracing it back to what is it, what's at the root, how do I do this, trying to heal my digestive system. There's a lot of other things that I did too, which hopefully I'll get a chance to talk about later. But the beef liver, that's an excellent one. B vitamins, the iron, that was excellent. That worked good for me. But the living bone was a huge one for me. And then the bone and marrow. This one is excellent. My immune system, it strengthened my immune system. My hip as well. This one helped. The bone and marrow, so the ancestral bone and marrow. So that helped tremendously. I stopped taking the collagen while I was when I started taking this, and it hasn't, I haven't even finished, the bottle, and the thing is that I've already seen results there. And so this one, if you're having any issues with your joints, I would say get the bone and marrow, and it helps to strengthen your immune system. I feel like better than ever. So the bone and marrow, the living bone, and then the beef liver. But if you have issues with your hips or your cartilage, and I'd say take the bone and marrow and then take the living bone. And I'm also saying definitely you can still take the trace minerals and the, what's the other one? The collagen. The collagen has helped as well. So the collagen helps with that one. Okay. Now, lastly, this helped in all areas. This is the Augmented NAC. So this one is the one that helps to denature the spike protein. This is at the root of this gets down to the root of a lot of the issues. Like I said, the spike protein is what is causing that systemic issue, and this is the augmented form of the regular NAC. I've taken the regular NAC as well, and it makes a significant difference. Change if you're having any sort of issues with your, lungs or from COVID. It deals with the master antioxidant, within the body, glutathione. And I'm telling you, the Augmented NAC has made a huge difference. Like I said, I've taken the regular one, and the augmented one has worked a lot better in really lowering the inflammatory response. And this one, I've only been taking one every day, but you can take up to 3 every day depending on, what your issues are. But I wanted to see how my body responds just from that one. And then I was taking the NAC probably like at least 5 times a day. I think it was 700 that I was taking with that one. 2 or 3 tablets of that one, of the regular NAC, and that one is very beneficial as well. So yeah, look into the NAC. It's been around, it's well studied. Then this is the augmented form that is more effective in denaturing the spike protein. So if you have any issues with or things that you've noticed that have changed after getting COVID, because sometimes the symptoms you won't think are related to that, because there's just been some standard list of symptoms, but they go way beyond that, and it's not common, it's not listed, because the how it came into our society is something that some individuals don't want you to know about. But I'm telling you, try the Augmented NAC, and I'll definitely put my link down below for that one as well. But you all, any issues with your bone, the issues that I have from COVID, spike protein detox, Dr. McCullough, he also has one too that has nattokinase and turmeric, and it's another one, I don't know if it's ginger, but nattokinase and turmeric. Then there's another, it's like 3 different supplements, 3 or 4 different things that are in this one product, and that one has been getting some good results as well. And you can even take those 2 together, Dr. McCullough, and it's a spike protein detox along with the NAC. But I would say take them individual. Take this one individually first, so you can just see how it responds, and you might have some detox responses, okay, like a headache or things like that. So yeah, check that out. Look at the information on it, the testimonies, and that way you can get an idea of, is this from that, So like I said, get the most natural, well studied supplements first, or treatments first, and then from there look beyond that. But what I found is that just getting down to the nutrients that we're missing, lowering the inflammatory response, and listening to my body, just supplying it with the foundational elements, is going to be really huge, you all. So I hope that was helpful, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Have a blessed day, and have a Merry Christmas.